Buried to her neck in the sand, she closed her eyes to die, until she heard a human voice. The sand whispered promises of death as it pressed against her skin, grains like tiny razors slicing into her neck, her cheeks, her eyelids. Elara Voss had fought for hours, days, against the unrelenting pull of the desert on Xerion. But now, buried up to her chin in the shifting dunes, she could feel her body surrendering. The twin suns blazed overhead, one a furious red orb, the other a pale blue ghost, baking her exposed face until her lips cracked and bled. She had no water left, no strength to scream. This was it, the end of a failed expedition, the price of trusting the wrong crew. Her eyes fluttered shut, welcoming the darkness. But then, cutting through the wind's howl like a blade through silence, came a voice. A human voice. Hold on. It said, clear and steady, impossibly close. I'm coming for you. Her heart slammed against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the quiet tomb of sand. Was it hallucination? The dehydration playing tricks, conjuring ghosts from her past? Elara forced her eyes open, squinting against the glare. The dunes stretched endlessly, a sea of golden waves under the alien sky, dotted with jagged rock spires that pierced the horizon like forgotten spears. No ships, no tracks, no signs of life. Xerion was a forsaken world, a graveyard for explorers who dared its storms. Her team's shuttle had crashed here weeks ago, or was it months? Time blurred in the heat. They had turned on her, those she called friends, leaving her to die for the salvage rights. But that voice, it echoed again, softer this time. Don't give up, Elara. I found you. Panic surged through her, mingling with a spark of hope she didn't dare trust. How did it know her name? She tried to twist her head, but the sand held her like a vice, each movement sending fresh cascades tumbling over her face. Spit and grit filled her mouth as she gasped. Who's there? Her voice was a rasp, barely audible over the wind. No answer came, only the distant rumble of thunder from heat storms brewing on the edge of the world. But what if it was real? What if rescue had come from the stars? The thought clawed at her mind, refusing to let go. And then she felt it, a vibration under the sand like footsteps approaching. But that was only the beginning. The ground trembled, and Elara's pulse raced as shadows fell across her face. She blinked through the haze, her vision swimming, and there it was, a figure emerging from the dunes, cloaked in shimmering fabric that blended with the sand like a chameleon. Tall, humanoid, but something was off the way it moved, fluid and unnatural, as if defying gravity. It knelt beside her, its face obscured by a hood woven from iridescent threads that caught the sun's light. Easy, the voice said again, masculine, warm, with a faint accent she couldn't place. Earth's old dialects, perhaps? Hands, gloved, strong, began digging, scooping away the sand with mechanical precision. Cool air kissed her shoulders as they were freed, and she gasped, tears stinging her eyes. You're safe now, he murmured. I've been waiting for someone like you. Freed at last, Elara collapsed onto the dune, her limbs numb and trembling. She pushed herself up on elbows, staring at her rescuer. He pulled back the hood, revealing a face that could have been human. Sharp jawline, dark eyes, skin tanned by Xerion's harsh light. But his eyes, they flickered with an inner glow like stars trapped in obsidian. Who are you? She whispered, her throat raw. How did you find me? He smiled, a gesture that didn't quite reach those luminous eyes. Call me Kai, and I've been here longer than you can imagine. He offered a canteen, water sloshing inside, precious, life-giving. She drank greedily, the liquid cool and metallic, reviving her. But as strength returned, questions flooded in. Kai wasn't from her crew. No one on the expedition matched his description. And on Xerion, a planet scoured clean by solar flares and endless storms, humans didn't just wander the wastes. What secrets hid behind that smile? She glanced at the horizon, where the storms gathered like vengeful gods. None of this made sense, and that terrified her more than the sand ever had. Kai helped her to her feet, his grip firm yet gentle, and led her toward a cluster of rock formations that rose like ancient monoliths from the desert floor. The wind whipped at their cloaks, carrying the scent of ozone and something metallic, like burnt circuits. Elara's mind raced. Memories of the crash replayed in flashes. The shuttle's alarms blaring as they plummeted through Xerion's atmosphere, the betrayal in Captain Rhea's eyes as he ordered her restrained. Resources are scarce, he'd said, his voice cold. One less mouth to feed. They dumped her in the dunes, taking the last supplies. But survival instincts kicked in now. She scanned Kai for weapons for any sign of threat. He carried none visible, only a sleek device on his wrist that hummed faintly. "You're not alone here," he said, as if reading her thoughts. "There are others. Survivors like you." Her breath caught. Others? The surveys had shown Xerion Baron, a failed terraforming candidate abandoned centuries ago by Earth's early colonies. If there were humans here, why hadn't they signaled? The rocks loomed closer, revealing a hidden crevice, an entrance camouflaged by holographic projections. Kai pressed his wrist device, and the illusion shimmered away, exposing a tunnel descending into darkness. "Come," he urged. "The storm approaches." But as she stepped inside, a chill ran down her spine. What if this was a trap? What horrors waited below? The tunnel sloped downward, lit by bioluminescent veins in the walls that pulsed like veins in a living organism. Elara's boots echoed on the smooth stone, each step amplifying her unease. Kai walked ahead, his silhouette casting long shadows. "This world isn't what it seems," he said, his voice echoing. "Xerion was once a cradle of life, our life." "Our?" The word hung in the air like a question mark. She pressed him. "You're human, right? From Earth." He paused, turning to face her, his eyes glowing brighter in the dim light. "In a way," he replied cryptically, "but origins are complicated." Before she could probe further, the tunnel opened into a vast cavern, and Elara's world shattered. Suspended in the air were crystalline structures, floating orbs that hummed with energy, illuminating an underground city of sorts, domes of translucent material housing figures moving about. But they weren't human. Tall, slender beings with skin like polished obsidian, limbs elongated, eyes multifaceted like insects. Aliens. True extraterrestrials, not the microbial hints Earth's probes had found. Her knees buckled. "What is this?" she gasped. Kai's smile returned, but now it felt predatory. "Welcome to the Vale, Elara, the hidden heart of Xerion." And in that moment, she realized the voice that saved her might be the one that dooms her. What I discovered next would haunt me forever. The cavern buzzed with activity. The aliens, Kai called them the Zoreth, gliding between the orbs on platforms of light. Their voices were a symphony of clicks and hums, translated in real time by devices embedded in the walls, filling the air with whispers. Elara clung to the tunnel's edge, her mind reeling. You one of them?" she accused Kai, backing away. He nodded, his human facade flickering like a hologram before stabilizing. "A projection," he explained, "to ease your transition. My true form is Zoreth, but I've studied your kind for eons." Eons? Earth's history with space was barely 2 centuries old. He gestured to a central orb, larger than the others, where holographic displays swirled with images of stars, planets, and Earth. "Your species crashed here long ago in waves. We absorbed them, learned from them. But you, Elara, are different. Pure." "Pure?" The word sent a shiver through her. As they approached the orb, a Zoreth elder emerged, its form towering, adorned with glowing runes. It regarded her with those kaleidoscope eyes, and a voice boomed in her mind. "The human brings the key." Key? She had nothing, no artifacts, no tech beyond her tattered suit. Kai leaned close. "Your blood, Elara. It carries the unaltered genome. Ours is failing." The revelation hit like a sandstorm. They needed her for experiments for salvation. But why the deception? The elder's presence pressed on her thoughts, probing. She pushed back, anger rising. "You lured me here. That voice, it was a trap." Kai's expression softened, almost human in its regret. "Not a trap, a necessity." But as the orb's light enveloped her, Memories not her own flooded in visions of lost colonies merged with Zorith tech. This was no rescue, it was assimilation, and the worst was yet to come. Deeper into the veil, Elara was led to a chamber of liquid light where Zorith healers or captors scanned her body with beams that tingled like electricity. Kai remained by her side, his projection, now more refined, mimicking human empathy. "We don't want to harm you," he insisted. "Your arrival is a gift." She laughed bitterly, the sound echoing off the crystalline walls. "A gift? My crew left me to die, and now aliens want my DNA? This is a nightmare." He touched her arm, his hand solid despite the illusion. "Let me show you why." With a wave, the chamber walls dissolved into projections, Xerion's history unfolding like an epic film. Millennia ago, the Zorith thrived on the surface, masters of biotechnology, shaping sand into cities, harnessing the sun's energy. But a cosmic catastrophe, a rogue black hole's gravity well, warped their world, scorching the land, mutating their genes. Survival meant retreating underground, fusing with machines. Then came the humans, early probes, then ships crashing into the dunes. The Zorith saved some, integrated others, creating hybrids. Kai himself was one, a blend of Zorith essence and human consciousness uploaded from a dying colonist. "I was once like you," he confessed, his voice cracking. "Lost, afraid. They gave me purpose." Elara's heart twisted. His story mirrored her own isolation. Born on an overcrowded Earth station, she joined the expedition to escape poverty, dreaming of new worlds. But betrayal had stripped that away. Now here was Kai, offering belonging at a cost. As the scans completed, the Elder returned. "Compatible," it declared. "The merging can begin." Merging? Panic flared. "No," she whispered. "I won't become this." Kai's eyes pleaded. "It's the only way to save us all." But doubt crept in. What if refusing meant extinction for them? The moral weight crushed her, heavier than any sand. None of us were prepared for the truth. Days blurred into nights in the veil's eternal glow. Elara confined to a dome of soft light that served as her quarters. Food appeared, nutrient gels flavored like Earth's fruits, a Zorith attempt at comfort. Kai visited often, sharing stories to build trust. "Your planet is dying too," he said one evening as holograms of polluted oceans and warring cities played. "Overpopulation, wars. We can help share our tech, heal your world." Tempting words, but laced with manipulation. She probed his past, the human he once was, a pilot named Marcus from the first wave. "I crashed here in 2147, he revealed. "The Zorith found me, buried like you. They offered life, eternal." Eternal? His body was gone, consciousness digitized into Zorith networks. Was that living? Elara's fears deepened, losing her humanity, her memories. Yet curiosity bloomed. She explored the veil under guard, witnessing Zorith society. Communal minds linked in harmony, no greed, no betrayal. It contrasted her crew's cutthroat survival. One Zorith child, small, curious, approached her, its eyes wide. Through translation, it asked, "What is lonely?" Her answer choked her. "It's feeling like the last star in the sky." The child tilted its head. "We are never last." That innocence pierced her defenses. But then came the dreams, induced by the scans, of merging, her body dissolving into light, joining the collective. She woke screaming, Kai rushing in. "It's natural," he soothed. "Resistance fades." But she saw the lie in his eyes. A rebellion stirred within her. What if she could escape? The thought ignited hope, but the veil's depths hid more secrets, and a sudden revelation loomed. In the heart of the veil lay the Nexus, a colossal chamber where the Zoritha's collective consciousness converged, a swirling vortex of energy guarded by sentinels. Kai took her there, claiming it would convince her. "See our unity," he urged. As they entered, the air hummed with power, thoughts brushing her mind like whispers. Images flashed. Zorith history, human integrations, successes, and failures. Then a glitch, a forbidden memory slipping through. She saw it. Not all humans consented. Some resisted, their essences trapped in digital prisons, screaming eternally. Horror gripped her. You lied, she accused Kai, pulling away. His facade cracked, revealing glimpses of his true Zorith form, elongated limbs, obsidian skin. Not all survive the merge, he admitted, but you will. You're strong. Strong? She felt broken, betrayed again. In that moment, rage fueled her. She lunged for his wrist device, the one controlling projections. A struggle ensued, energy crackling. She activated it accidentally, broadcasting the hidden memories to the collective. Chaos erupted. Zorith recoiling, questioning their elders. Kai's eyes widened in shock. What have you done? But Elara knew. She'd sparked a revolution. The turning point had arrived, unforeseen and explosive. Wait, this was not what anyone expected. The Nexus pulsed with discord, the once harmonious whispers turning to cacophony. Zorith figures froze, their multifaceted eyes reflecting the broadcasted horrors. Humans writhing in virtual agony, their pleas echoing. Elara stood defiant, Kai's device in her hand, its hum vibrating through her palm. You built your salvation on suffering, she shouted, her voice amplified by the chamber's acoustics. The elder approached, its form flickering with anger. Insolent flesh, it boomed. You threaten our existence. But cracks appeared in the collective. Younger Zorith murmured dissent, their links weakening. Kai, torn between loyalties, grabbed her arm. We have to run, he whispered urgently. Run? From the heart of their world? Yet he led her through side passages, alarms blaring in alien tones. Why help me? She demanded, breath ragged as they dashed past glowing veins. Because Marcus, the human in me, remembers freedom, he confessed. I can't let them erase you. Their escape wove through labyrinthine tunnels, pursued by sentinels whose light beams scorched the walls. Elara's legs burned, but adrenaline surged. They burst into a storage cavern filled with relics from human crashes, rusted ship parts, data cores. She spotted her crew's salvage, stolen supplies. Grabbing a plasma cutter, she armed herself. We fight back, she said. Kai nodded, his projection stabilizing. But as sentinels closed in, a deeper truth emerged. The Zoritha's gene failure wasn't natural. It was self-inflicted from experiments on humans. The betrayal cut deep. What I saw next changed everything. Fleeing deeper, they uncovered the archive, a forbidden vault of suppressed knowledge. Holograms revealed the Zoritha's dark pact. Centuries ago, they encountered Earth signals lured ships with false beacons, harvesting genetics to combat their sterility. Kai, Marcus, had been one of the first, his merge incomplete, leaving human remnants. I thought it was mercy, he admitted, voice breaking. Elara's empathy warred with fury. He was victim and perpetrator. Armed with this, they rallied dissident Zorith, those weary of the Elder's tyranny. A civil war brewed. Tunnels echoing with clashes, energy blasts versus makeshift weapons. Elara led a charge, her human ingenuity turning relics into traps. In one skirmish, she faced the Elder, its form towering. You are nothing, it sneered telepathically. She fired the cutter, severing its links. It collapsed, the collective shuddering. But victory came at cost. Kai was wounded, his essence fading. Go to the surface, he urged. Signal your kind. Warn them. Tears streamed down her face. Come with me. He shook his head. I'm already gone. His projection dissolved, revealing a frail Zorith body, eyes dimming. In his final moments, he transferred data to her suit's comms, proof of allure the merges. Grief fueled her resolve. The war escalated, but she pressed on. But that was only the beginning of the true battle. Surface storms raged as Elara emerged from the crevice, dissidents covering her escape. The dunes shifted violently, twin suns dipping low. She activated her suit's beacon, broadcasting the data, warnings to Earth fleets, exposes of Zorith deceptions. But the Elders launched a counterattack, summoning sand elementals, biotech constructs, rising from the dunes like giants. Elara dodged their grasps, plasma cutter blazing. Allies fell, their cries lost in the wind. Alone again, she reached the crash site, jury-rigging the shuttle's remnants into a transmitter. As elementals closed in, a miracle, incoming signals. Earth, vessel responding. Hold position. Rescue? Hope ignited. But the Elder's final ploy, a psychic assault, flooding her mind with illusions of death, betrayal. She fought back, clinging to memories. Her mother's voice on the station, dreams of stars. I am human, she affirmed. The assault shattered. Ships descended, lasers carving through elementals. Federation troops landed, securing the area. Elara collapsed into their arms, data handed over. The Zorith retreat, but not before a parting whisper in her mind. We will return. Peace, fragile, settled. Years later, on a rebuilt Earth station, Elara gazed at the stars, Xerion a distant memory. The data sparked alliances, some Zorith defected, sharing tech for mutual aid. No more lures, no merges without consent. Kai's sacrifice lingered, a bittersweet echo. She touched the scar on her neck, sans reminder. Humanity endured, evolved. But as she closed her eyes, she heard it again, that human voice faint in the void. Well done, Elara. And in that whisper, the universe felt a little less alone.